there's something curious happening in the anime community. So we don't talk about anime too often here. Personally, I just started watching anime like last year, just getting into it, being like, you know what? Let me check out what's going on. I've watched a couple of things. What is it? I just finished Cowboy Bebop. I watched up to season 4 of My Hero, Full Metal Brotherhood. That was pretty good. And I think that's literally it. But I have weeb adjacent friends and weeb friends, so I can't escape the anime community, and I think some of them are nice people. Anyways, with that being said, what I do care about a lot though is monopolies and corporations doing way too much and owning way too much. And that brings us to our epic cross section where we are here today. An amazing crossover episode where we get to talk about those very two things, anime and corporations ruining art mediums. Ah, don't we love that? Tasty. Sony bought anime. Sony has indeed hired Mr. Anime, the god CEO of anime. They did. They bought him. It's crazy. They keep him in the Sony basement. One thing that was mentioned last year is AT&T looking to sell off Crunchyroll. Brief re-up. For some of you guys, Crunchyroll is a streaming platform that hosts anime. Wild. Sony already owns a streaming platform that hosts anime. It's direct competition. Funimation. I've watched anime on both Crunchyroll and Funimation. They're fine. It's okay. I was able to watch the show, so I was like, I mean, this is fine. This is cool. Okay, whatever. So it didn't matter too much to me, but now it matters. So Sony decided, man, you know what'd be really great? If we could just gobble up almost the entire market by just buying Crunchyroll from AT&T. And they were looking in the ballpark of $1 billion, and they finally confirmed the purchase, with Sony now owning a huge portion of the Western, of a huge portion of a lot of the mediums where Western audiences watch anime. If you're going to be watching an anime, there's a good likelihood that if you're paying for that service, you're going to be giving Sony more money. There's just like there's almost no way around it right now. Last year, AT&T announced plans to sell off Crunchyroll, its anime streaming service, to Sony Entertainment mega corporation that also owns Funimation. This came after a year or two of companies working together to release retrospective programs on another's digital platforms. Synergy between the two companies is nothing new, but now they're going to fuse permanently. So they were already basically working together as a single company to make sure they get the most amount of money from not only their audiences, but that they aren't in direct competition with each other as much. Sound like something that an antitrust suit would fix, but unfortunately, there was an antitrust suit. They just didn't do anything. Reports come in from the technology website The Information Wednesday last week that the United States Justice Department has extended an investigation of antitrust review into Sony's proposed acquisition of Crunchyroll for $1.175 billion. The department seeks to determine whether or not the deal would allow Sony to get too big when it comes to anime streaming and distribution. This has gotten so bad that the federal government has had to step in and be like, man, maybe they own too much anime. You know what's bad when the U.S. government has to talk about? Can you imagine them like big United States federal bureaucrats in a boardroom talking about, is Dragon Ball on too few platforms? That's what's going on right now. It sounds funny, but it's really important, because when a lot of these companies buy things up, it usually ends up poor for this consolidation usually ends up poor for a lot of the customers. They have more leeway, they have less competition, they can do less innovation, and they can get away with that because what are you gonna do? Go to someone else? We own them too. Of course you're not going to go to someone else. They roll it into their massive mega corporation list of things that they own, and then it's just another dollar goes to them. What are you going to do? Escape? You can't get away from it. Now the only real competition that they have is Netflix, and that's the whole reason they did this, to have like a massive hold over the anime Western industry, which is still like a lot. And I'm not sure if like Sony's going to be in the running to buy Netflix sometime soon, but it's really unfortunate. Yeah, Hulu has a ton of anime, but they don't have the same. They don't have like the market share that Funimation and Crunchyroll do. When you think about what, if you're in the West and you're thinking about watching an anime on some streaming platform, you're thinking about Netflix, Crunchyroll, or Funimation. Those are the big three. Obviously, there are other places where you can go watch anime, but they are nowhere near as big, nowhere near as prolific, and nowhere near as easy and convenient, and have nowhere near as much power to throw around cash, to throw around resources, to persuade anime studios to staying on their site with exclusivity, with like early releases than a lot of the smaller ones do, because they can be like, hey, you don't want to work with us, man, that shit's crazy. We own 60% of the market. You don't want to be a part of 60% of the market, and they can just rip that amount of money away from that studio. And studios are already struggling. I mean, we made a video about it, how master animators in Japan sometimes are being paid, what is it, $50 a week? What is it, $300 a month? Like, these people are making the most famous shows that you know. They are crafting, chiseling pop culture as we know it, while being paid, while struggling to keep their lights on. That's awful. So a lot of studios can't afford to take that hit already. And not only that, those mediums are also really big when it comes to selling merch, which is another big way that those animation studios make a lot of their money. For some animation studios, they lose money on making anime, but they make it all back up when it comes to things like merch sales. Because what are they going to do now? Well, Sony doesn't want them to do anything else but stay on their platform. That's the whole reason that they did this. And now, with this antitrust suit going nowhere, as far as we know right now, basically Sony is able to do whatever they want when it comes to the Western audience and in anime. They already like straight up own properties like Demon Slayer, and they're moving it into things like, it's not only the anime, they're owning the production studio that makes the anime, and then they own the games that are the spinoff from that anime, and then they own the distribution of that anime. And then they own the music that goes into the anime. It's incredible. It's an incredible chokehold on the industry that they have now. And it's not good for people. It's not good for studios. It's not good for anyone but Sony and their bottom dollar at the end of the day. Not only are they getting their chokehold on anime, they're even getting their chokehold on games now. Epic Games. Sony is starting to make plays to start to possibly even buy up Epic Games, if not own a massive portion of Epic Games. If you didn't know, they're the Fortnite producer. They're Fortnite guys. They do Fortnite. Sony wants Fortnite. Sony wants Orange Justice, okay? And they're coming for it with their absolute mega cash load. They're going to try to own basically everything that you touch, because they already, here's like a little list. Here's a small list of everything Sony owns. Oh my gosh, would you look at that? Oh my gosh. Oh baby, here's it going. They now own Funimation and everything under Funimation, Crunchyroll. Oh baby, look at that. They own Columbia, one of the longest standing record labels in the entire country. Here it is, Columbia, right here. Sony Music Entertainment, right there. Columbia, I think, if I remember correctly, Columbia has things like fucking like the Beatles and Beyonce on it, if I remember correctly. They own so much music. If you listen to music, there's a good roll of the dice that it's probably owned by Sony in some way, shape, or form. And that's scary. That's really scary that you cannot get away from giving money to this company in a lot of different ways. And here's all the companies that they own, like big portions of, if over 50% sometimes. Europe, China, South Korea, India, the Middle East. Sony Middle East? Wait a second. Sony Middle East and Africa? They're in Africa, bro. Sony's in Africa. What's happening? It's too much. It's too much. And it's really sad that this is happening. I really hope that the antitrust suit goes somewhere and they're able to break this up. They need to be broken up. This is not good for anyone but Sony, and this needs to stop.